crypto, identity, and books. Starting with the counterintuitive hardware take of the week. If you're comparing the RTX 3060 against the 3070 for local AI, you'd assume the 3070 wins. You'd be wrong. NVIDIA gave the budget 3060 12 GB of VRAM versus only 8 on the more expensive 3070. For local inference, memory sealing matters more than raw compute. The proof, QN 3.59 billion Q4 running with 31 tools and 85 skills. Browser control, file operations, code execution, persistent memory. All local, all real. 50 tokens per second with thinking mode on a budget card. The lesson, optimize for the VRAM ceiling, not the name on the box. Microsoft open-sourced BitNet, a 1-bit quantization inference framework compressing model weights to -1, 0, or +1. No floating point math. Just integer arithmetic CPUs have been optimized for since forever. The numbers, 2.4 to 6.2 times faster than Llama. CPP, over 70% lower energy on x86, 16 to 32 times smaller memory footprint. Capable language models running fully offline on laptops and edge devices, no GPU required. NVIDIA released Nematron 3 Super with 120 billion total parameters, but only 12 billion active per token. 90% sleeps while 10% does the work. Pre-trained on 25 trillion tokens, 1 million token context window, claimed to be 7.5 times faster than its nearest competitor. Full open release, weights, data, training recipes, designed explicitly for multi-agent workloads. And on agent benchmarks, both Pinchbench and Cloyval agree, Claude Opus and Sonnet 4.6 are the clear winners for autonomous tasks. Now the productivity paradox. A16Z asks a sharp question. AI made every individual 10 times more productive. Why hasn't any company become 10 times more valuable? The electricity analogy is perfect. In the 1890s, textile mills installed electric motors in place of steam engines and saw almost no productivity gains for 30 years. It wasn't until the 1920s, when factories completely redesigned from scratch around the new technology, that gains materialized. We are electrifying the mill. We haven't redesigned the factory. The gains are pooling in individuals, not flowing through to organizational output. The companies that solve the redesign problem first will be the ones that compound. For engineering leaders, a related crisis is emerging. A junior who joined 6 months ago ships 3 production services in a week using AI tools. A senior who's been around for years produces roughly the same output they always did. The old metrics pull requests, features shipped, no longer discriminate between levels. When everyone writes code, who's a coder stops being the filter. Every CTO is sitting with this question right now, and nobody has a clean answer. On crypto and macro, Jordi Visser makes a structural argument about private credit and Bitcoin. The setup, private credit is a $3 trillion market built on leverage, opacity, and confidence. The two-phase thesis, phase 1 is painful, a real credit unwind hits Bitcoin with everything else liquid. Phase 2 is where the thesis lives. The state, politically incapable of tolerating prolonged credit pain, injects liquidity. Bitcoin reads that reflation signal faster than any other asset. This isn't a buy now call. It's a structural argument that in a debt-saturated system, reflation is the political default, and Bitcoin is positioned to front-run it. Meanwhile, the CFTC is finally moving toward formal frameworks for prediction markets. After years in legal gray zones, platforms like Polymarket may get regulatory clarity. Also, Across Protocol is proposing to dissolve its DAO and convert to a private company. Make of that what you will about defy maturation. The book of the week, a single tweet from 0x0. This book changed my career. I don't think I'd be where I am without it. 62,000 views. 1,700 bookmarks. The book, Why Machines Learn, The Elegant Math Behind Modern AI by Anil Ananthaswamy. Not a survey. The full arc from logic gates through backpropagation and gradient descent. 0x0 is on his 3rd read. If you want to understand AI rather than just use it, this is the one. For tools this week, Typing Mind for open source multi-model chat, Everclaw for decentralized AI inference designed for agent swarms, Microsoft BitNet for running large models on CPU, and OpenClaw round-robin routing to stretch free compute across multiple providers. That's the March 13th signal. Budget hardware democratizing capable agents. Productivity gains stuck in individuals, not organizations. Macro fragility creating Bitcoin's structural setup. Read the full digest at thinksmart.life/research. See you tomorrow.